Thanks for your thighs. Enjoy the scarf.
Hope your thighs enjoy the scarf.
Mm-hmm. I'll leave that up on the other screen. I'm like, I gotta get back on that secret Discord where I hang out.
Oh. Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, let's hang out in the thighs channel. It's just an emoji of a leg. It just says #thighs next to it.
Whenever someone talks about like doing well on something, I like to post like the arm thing, like, yeah, strong. But sometimes I'm really tempted to post the leg. Like, legs can also be strong.
They can. And we never like, huh?
Right? Just like, yeah, good job. Here's a leg.
Yeah. My legs can lift more than my arms.
Quite.
Yeah. Yeah, thighs need their due.
I don't think my arms could lift my legs.
Like, if you put your legs in your own hand? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
I might be able to do that.
Hi, what are you guys up to?
Nothing?
I'm driving the bus.
Doing some leg lifts, I see.
Common.
Casual experimentation. Paul, you're a man of sense.
Do you think your arms could lift your own legs?
I think so.
Okay.
I believe that's you could just lift your arms, lift your legs with your arms, and then push off from your arms with your legs, and I believe that's how you start flying.
Just, I only wish that when you had appeared, I said, close the door!
It's like if you've seen Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Oh, yeah. It's been years.
Where he, hey, he needs a rope to climb down from the moon back to Earth.
Right.
Like you do. So he ties a rope onto the pointy part of the crescent of the moon, like you do. And then he goes down, but of course it's a long way from the moon to the Earth, so he runs out of rope. But of course you're not using all that rope up top. So he cuts it off above him and ties it below and keeps going down.
As you do.
Which, in a way, if you were in space and you got far enough away from the moon, you could cut the rope off and you would maintain roughly your same position and be able to tie it to the rope below.
Yeah, it's a classic thought problem. How many pieces of rope does it take to get to the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Or back?
Mm-hmm. I always just assume that it's like, how far away is the moon? I'm like, I don't know, 180 million kilometers. Like, I don't know how far away stuff is, because it's like, how far away is Earth from the sun? That's easy. 1 AU. I did it.
I was gonna do it.
Right? It's like, I figured it out because there's a unit to describe it. How far away is Earth from the moon? On average. I don't know.
1 MU?
Oh, Lord Crusher says 384,000 kilometers, and I trust Lord Crusher.
Yeah, that sounds good, right? Like, I'm like, okay. It sounds good because it's a lot of numbers, but it's not so many numbers you feel like it's wrong.
And it's in kilometers, which means it's a real number.
Right. It's accurate to the centimeter.
Mm-hmm. He could be lying, but we'll believe it.
Better not be lying to me, Crusher.
That's a long way to travel.
Have you heard about Mars?
Yeah. A lot. All the rich people want to move there.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is because Matt Damon made it look so easy in that movie.
That movie actually just a marketing campaign for Mars real estate.
Yeah. For the SpaceX Starship.
Oh, the potato movie.
Yes. The Matt Damon potato movie. Matt Damon loves his potatoes.
I was like, Elysium.
I thought that was We Bought a Zoo.
So I made a farm. That's the movie. And then Robin Williams got involved.
Yep.
And when the base blew up, Robin was like, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault."
I saw a great video of the people who were like, flat Earth, whatever.
Right.
People who not only flat Earth, but also because once you start believing flat Earth, then you have to be skeptical about a lot of other things to make it all add up.
Oh yes, yeah. Consistency is important with these people. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the James Webb Telescope causes a lot of issues.
I bet it does.
So there's a lot of just sort of straight incredulousness, right? Where you just state things about it, but in like it's like, oh, it's how many million miles away, right? Like you just state true things, but in an incredulous way. It makes it sound like to make it so you don't believe it.
Oh, we've been streaming for 86 hours. Sure.
That
But
number's
my
too
favorite-
big.
My favorite thing though is that it was like two guys, and one of them, and the guy was like, okay, so they're saying that it's got to take this like long, they're taking like a long exposure of this, some distant star,
Mm-hmm.
but as we all know, the universe, the Earth is spinning around so fast all the time, and space is going around all this stuff, and so this thing, and they're saying that this thing is able to track this one nebula for like the entire time of this exposure totally perfectly.
Right.
That seems pretty, like, how the heck is that gonna work? And then what I like is the other guy, who's also supposed to be a skeptic, was like, well, that's why they put it at like the Lagrange point, because that means it's not moving relative to the
It's like the what? Like, well, let me explain what that means. It's like, why are you here with him? Why do you both share this similar belief? I love the picture when the James Webb got into position. They were like animating how it's staying out there. Oh, I have green paper trails for my hands again. Awesome.
Ooh, paper trails.
I'm probably high. Anyway, so the not really here on the Boiling Isles. They're like, well, we have to put it in position at Lagrange 1, I think is where they're putting it, or L2. Anyway, wherever they put it.
Yeah.
They're like, so we have to have it there, but it can't just sit there. You can't just put a thing out there and just have it sit and be like, that's fine. It has to maintain some sort of. It has to maintain some energy to be at this location. It's like, well, how do you do that? It's like, well, you have it orbit something. It's like, okay, but what's out there? Nothing. Well, then what does it orbit? It orbits nothing. It just orbits. It just stays in this position.
Yeah.
And it moves in a small circle around a central area, and that's how it maintains. I'm like, oh, I can't handle, because to me, orbits are like, there's there's gravity from these things, and so therefore you're always kind of being pulled towards it, but you have enough. You're doing whatever. It's like, no, it orbits the Lagrange point itself, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, the idea of orbiting something that isn't actually there's not a thing there, but that's fine because it takes into account all the other bodies, and I'm like, wow, I love that stuff. That's like, yeah, I can never be a astrophysicist.
The other thing about James Webb Telescope that was from the sort of skeptic point of view thing that I saw somebody talking about was everyone was like, all we have are these like computer simulations of the thing like opening up.
Yeah.
And we're told what it's gonna do.
Right.
It's like, why don't they just put a little camera on it so that we could and then they could actually broadcast the footage, and then there wouldn't be any doubt. Like, why
we could watch it,
and then we could watch it. And I saw a thread on Twitter, and somebody's like, okay, another camera is not a simple thing to add. It would have to be put in somewhere where it could actually get some kind of a useful view of the thing.
We'll build a tripod for it, don't worry.
Yeah. And that would have to be included in the payload, which is already, they extremely tricky they have to minimize everything, plus the incredibly complex procedure of it opening and deploying properly, just so that they could use this like once, right? To get this shot. 2, the entire point of the enormous, incredibly complicated solar sail that and the big reflector that is like 90% of the complicatedness of the whole thing is that it's blocking the sun, so that the part that is interesting that people would want to see is in the dark.
Yeah. Not only just the dark, the really dark.
So a camera would not get anything useful. And we can't shine a light from that camera because that would defeat the purpose of blocking the...
Isn't there also a thing that's like, if you were to put like a mirror or shine a light or whatever, like if you're like, well, we can just reflect some light to the camera so we can see it, it's like, then you would never be able to see anything. And you might also destroy the sensors in the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.